quality issues that we want to deal with. So I'm not particularly scared by the growth in the number of packages, but of course, sooner or less we will hit a limit of available people power. And the only way to keep up with that is that more people will come and help us. So it is a socially limited process. It can continue to grow only if the society which builds it grows as well. That is completely true. But it's not as scary as saying we are exploding exponentially, so tomorrow we will be unable to maintain all we have. Question there? No?
Yes.
Excuse me. I'm an end user of Debian 6. I use
of what, sorry?
I'm an end user. I just use it. I can't programming.
Good.
I use Debian 6 on PowerBook G4, so I can play an AME emulator and I can play Flash video on it. I use Debian for PowerPC, so I wish maybe somebody can develop an AME and Flash video.
So let's get back. So let's get back at like 15 years ago, before the existence of Star Office, I think it was called what we call Open Office. So back then we were everyone in the and people in the free software world was like using tools like strings on the doc files to extract the textual part of a document. It was really painful. Then one day everything changed and we ended up today having LibreOffice, which has good support for this kind of proprietary form. So I understand how you feel. I've used a PowerBook with Debian installed like 5 years ago and I didn't have any Flash. But the problem there is that the internet is full of content encoded in Flash, which is a proprietary format. And this is not something that can be fixed by Debian. It's something that should be fixed by getting rid of the proprietary content, and there are good signs that this is going to change on the internet in the future. And this is something that can be solved by upstream developers creating good Flash support in free software systems. There is Gnash, which is I think today one of our best hope. There is LightSpark, but I'm not sure it would work on PowerPC. But yeah, so I understand the problem, but it's not really a problem that a distribution can fix. It's a problem that should be fixed at a different level, one way or the other.
Another one. So the question of Flash treat another thought. Flash itself is a kind of proprietary format, but it's not documented, right? It's documented proprietary format. What's the Debian's stance on proprietary but not really open formats? And suppose some community member gets signs an NDA with this company and write the software, and which source code itself is free. Will Debian take it?
So from a philosophical point of view, Debian is bound only by the free software, the Debian free software guidelines. So as long as the software is free software according to the definition of software we use, we have no problem in including it. So the more general issue you're raising is the kind of a definition of what is a proprietary format and what is not. This is a complex issue, and which is an issue flagged by several legal aspects which changes around the world. As long as it is free software, it's okay. So it's not really a problem. I'm not sure that we will have anytime soon actually a good implementation of a format like Flash, because I've been told that yes, it is documented, but the important stuff is not documented. And with the important stuff, I mean the stuff you need to make a high quality play. So, but for us, free software is okay.
尽量。Or maybe you can ask them some questions.
Well, that's how it works.
Yeah.
I'm thirsty. I have no three questions, but yes, actually I have some. So who is a Debian user here?
Debian user. Yeah.
So keep your hands up if you have ever submitted a bug repo to Debian. Oh, that's 5 people. Okay. So if you are users of free software, be it Debian or any other project out there, think about reporting bugs. It's a kind of a moral duty of free software users, and it's a very, very important contributions for developers or package maintainers or whatever. Having feedback is fundamental, and it's way more useful than you can imagine. So learn about how to report bugs. Learn about how to create useful bug reports, and that will be an amazing contribution to free software. Very simple for you and very useful. Okay.
No.
I see. But I'll be around, so I won't leave immediately. So if you have another question, feel free to come here and ping me physically.
我们在最后一个问题，那再来就是看大家怎么用的。反正讲者8点半，他要回到台中嘛，所以，呀，他下午从台中过来，所以还有没有要再问最后一个问题？给你，那边，对。
Hello. Speaking of bug report, we know that in fact actually there are tens of thousands of bugs on bug tracking system, and we know that every bug is assignment, priority assignment, and for every release there are some policies that some bugs, the critical bugs or the photo bugs must be solved. But sometimes I still have some question on this process, since some bugs may be classified as not so critical so that it can be released. But it is actually very critical to people that are using it. For example, the join input in the SCIM input system, the join input in SCIM is not working at all. And if you are including such a non-working input method, you rather not include it at all. And that is something. That is the other thing is we know in Squeeze the window decorator. That's for complete. If you turn on the complete, the window decorator is not working at all. So that the whole complete effects are not working. And are now workable. Yes, and I think these are rather quite important issues, but as long as Squeeze is released, I feel as a Debian user, I feel hopeless on solving this issue in Squeeze, or I should say in 3 years. So is there? I do have a question about this process. Why this kind of issue are classified as okay, we can release it. And yeah, thank you.
So first of all, we are in pipeline. I'm not omniscient, so we don't know everything. We know just what we can deduce from the feedback of users. In general, there is a judgment call, of course. So there is a judgment call to decide whether a bug is critical or not for a release, and that judgment call is made by the release team. Usually, the judgment call is made in terms of the general public of a specific package and how many people in that public are likely to be affected by the issue. So it's not a good reason to say only Chinese speaker use a Chinese input method. So Chinese input methods are Chinese and need that input method. So if your claim is true, and I have no way of knowing that because even if I'm DPL, I don't know all of the 30,000 packets you have detected. So if it is true what you say that those package is useless because it's not working for any kind of its users, then I agree with you. And I agree that these packages should have not been released, should have better been removed and released in that state. I totally agree with you. But we have no guarantee of being perfect or detecting all the issues which are there. So the question is, if really it does not work at all for any single user of its potential target, why has this not been discovered? So why has it not been brought to the attention of the release team? So if the bug were reported as release critical, meaning severity serious or above, the release team would have noticed that. So it's possible, for instance, that a user reported of the bug you mentioned, but that the user didn't set the right severity for the bug, for instance. Or that's, I mean, there can be a lot of issues. Okay, I don't know what is the specific case for the one you mentioned, but I'm surprised by the fact that if really it's critical for that many people, it has not been spotted. So probably there are also both sides. On the side of Debian with the maintainers which didn't discover that, and on the side of users which do not report or who do not give feedback to the maintainer on this. So I really am not conditioned to say that. The only thing I can say is that it's really easy to have an impact of Debian. So if you care about this issue, it's really easy for you to help us and make sure that this is the last time that something like this will ever happen on that package.
好，那我们再一次掌声谢谢 Ray。来自自由协会再次还是很感谢各位参与这个活动。那也欢迎各位在还没加入软体自由协会的会员的话，欢迎各位有兴趣可以加入。那我们定期都会推出一些相关的活动，每个月也都有每个月的专题在不同的那个自由软体上面。那各位有兴趣的话，欢迎常到网站上看。